out there in YouTube land. This is Kristen, Aussie Peroni, and it's my week 23 update. This is actually one day early. I have a few minutes of free time right now in the house to myself, so I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to get my video out of the way this week. My grandmother's in the hospital. Yesterday I went with her in the ambulance to the hospital, so we've been spending time at the hospital with her, and I'm going to be going there shortly. So I don't know what tomorrow is going to hold in store for me, so I figured I might as well just do my video now while I have some time. I have good news. I know my last video was really discouraging, and I was frustrated because my weight had gone up a pound. Well, not only have I lost that pound, but I lost 4 pounds this week. My weigh-in today was at 182. So I went down from 186 to 182 this week. And actually in a shorter period of time, because I was 186 on Friday and today's only Wednesday, so tomorrow I could even be lower, possibly. Yeah, so I'm really happy about that. And actually I took a couple days off of the treadmill because we had the wedding over the weekend and I couldn't do the treadmill then. And yesterday I spent the entire day with my grandmother, both before we had to call the ambulance and after. My grandmother had slid off the couch. She slid down onto the floor and we couldn't get her up. So we ended up having to call for help, and because she has an ulcer on her leg that's kind of infected, we needed to really get her into the hospital. So she's doing alright with it. I was actually more stressed out than she was, I think, with the ambulance ride and all of that. On a more like sensitive note, I guess, I haven't really talked about this before, but in addition to my physical disabilities, I also have some emotional stuff going on. I suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. I've been through just multiple traumas. Y'all know that I got hit by a car in 2001. That was very traumatic. It took away my physical functioning. It took away a lot of the things I love to do: horseback riding, jogging, going to the gym, cardio kickboxing, French ring sport with my dog. I was a very active person, and I had a lot taken away from me with that injury. It got worse, so instead of getting better and recovering, my physical stuff just got worse progressively as time went on. I went on to have 2 more children, and when I had the second of those, my last child, Joy, that's when my back got just really bad, to the point where I was not able to work anymore. I was not able to do even activities of daily living, like, you know, taking a shower and all of that. That's when that stuff started to become really hard for me. And that's when I started going on a lot more medication and doing regular physical therapy, and it really started to consume a lot of my life. I gained 100 pounds. I became depressed. I started getting anxiety. Through all of that, I continued struggling to still go to church and still be a mom, still drive, and in the last few years, that stuff has just really become impossible. I went through the last 2 traumas, which really are the ones that have set me totally over the edge, where the post-traumatic stress stuff just got to affect my life, my everyday life. I lost a baby boy at 6 months through my pregnancy in the summer of 2009, and then less than a year later, I delivered a baby girl at 6 months through my pregnancy at 19 weeks, and she died too. So in less than a year, I went through the 2 funerals of my babies. I had both babies die in my arms, and also my aunt died. I was with her when she died. of cancer, and my German Shepherd also died a couple months before my aunt, just a couple weeks after my little girl died. So, with those deaths of the 2 babies and my aunt and my dog, and I just basically stopped leaving the house. I started to develop panic attacks. Anytime I'd go out in public, you know, profuse sweating, my heart would race, just terrible, terrible physical symptoms. And so, I've just been a mess for the last year or so. My mobility on my right side just like completely went. At the end of when I was still driving, I would think I'm hitting the gas or the brake, and I wasn't, or I just wasn't able to control the pressure of my legs anymore. So at that point I stopped driving, and I basically stopped leaving the house. So when I decided to have gastric bypass, it was a really big decision. I was at 268 pounds and very depressed, and I knew that I wanted to do something to change my life. So that's where I'm at now. I have lost, let's see, close to 90 pounds. Let's see, I think 86 pounds. So at that end of the spectrum, I'm doing pretty well as far as losing weight and everything. And I was really proud of myself this weekend at the wedding. I didn't like profusely sweat. I was okay. I did alright around people. And I actually got up and did a little dancing with my sister and a friend that we've known from the family for a very long time. So I had a really nice time. My children were all in the wedding. And we all got our hair done. I got my makeup done. And it was really fun. For once, I kind of felt like I fit in the crowd. I felt almost like a normal person. Not quite, because I'm still really shy and really laid back and everything. But, I don't know. My daughter was really not used to seeing me be anything to do with being social. So I think she had kind of a hard time with it, my 13-year-old. Because she's very much like me. Very much doesn't like to be the center of attention or in the spotlight at all. I did have a little bit of dumping syndrome last night. I had, what do you call it, Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, which I knew I shouldn't have had it, but I only had a little. But it made me very sick, and that's about all I have to report, I think, today. If I have time to do another video this week, maybe I will. But I just wanted to share the good news that I'm back on a weight loss instead of gain. So I will see you guys soon. Thanks. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. And thank you to all of you for being a source of support.